Hello everyone. So continuing from the previous lecture on bricks, today we are going to discuss about the manufacturing of bricks. So the manufacturing of the bricks can be broadly classified into four different stages. The first stage is the preparation of clay. Then the second stage is the molding process. The third stage will be the drying of the mold that we have prepared, and at the last will be the burning of the uh, brick molds that we have obtained, so that the required hardness can be obtained. Right. So let us discuss about each of these stages in detail. So the first stage, that is the preparation of clay, it starts with the unsoiling. That is, the top layer of the earth is removed, around 20 centimeter of the earth surface is removed. This is done so as to remove the impurities and get the material that will be free of any organic impurities. Then after unsoiling, we do the digging, and the clay that is to be used for the preparation of the brick is dug out, and around 62 centimeter of the heap is prepared. Then after digging, the cleaning is done, that is, the clay soil that has been dug out is cleaned from the impurities like stone, pebbles, or any vegetable matter that is present in the clay soil. After this, weathering process is done, and basically this is done to soften the clay, right? The mixing of the clay is done, and it is left in the uh, natural environment, so that softening and the mellowing of the clay soil takes place. After this, if required, blending is done, that is to improve the properties of the final brick that we will get. Certain material is added. Material can be certain amount of lime or cement or fly ash or some other pozzolanic material, if required, is added. And when this is done, this stage is called as blending, right? Depending upon the type of soil that we are using, if our soil has some weakness or requires some treatment, then the blending is done, right? So the material is mixed, and then the tempering is done, that is, the clay is brought to the proper degree of hardness and made fit for the molding, right? So this is the steps in which the preparation of clay is done. The first is unsoiling, then digging, cleaning, weathering, blending, and tempering. So after the clay has been, the second stage is molding, right? That is, now the clay material will be molded into the shape of the uh, conventional brick as we know of, right? Now this molding is done in two ways. The first is the hand molding, and the second is machine molding. So let's first of all discuss about the hand molding process. And in the hand molding process, as the name suggests, the molding is done via hand, and the mold can be a wooden mold or a steel mold depending upon the facility available. And this molding is done basically in two ways. The first is the ground molding, and the second is via table molding. And if the molding has been done in the ground, then the bricks that we get is the ground molded bricks, while if the molding is done on the table, the bricks that we get is table molded bricks. So your ground molded bricks are basically, as the name suggests, the molding process, everything is done on the ground, right? So the person takes the prepared clay material, put them into the mold and compact them, and after that the final uh, product of the bricks are obtained, right? It is to be ensured that the prepared clay is free from any lumps, because if lumps are there, then the bricks that we will get, or the framework that we will get, will have the pores in it, right? Then we have table molded bricks, and in the table molded bricks, basically a bit more sophisticated version of the hand molded technique is there. So we have a pressing machine. We take the mold, we put the clay in it, and basically we have a machine through which we can press, right? So that a more compacted and a better molded brick material is obtained to us. Compared to the ground molded, so a bit higher cost is there, because of course the equipment is is there involved here. Then for the machine molding, when the manufacturing is to be done in a larger scale, then the machine molding is required. Now, depending upon the type of machine that we are using, it can be categorized into two categories. The first is the plastic clay machine, and the second is dry clay machine. So, in the plastic clay machine, basically it is the basic version of the machines for the production of brick. So the clay that we have prepared in this first stage is put into the machine, and the product that we get is in the form of single form, right? And this is cut through wire, right? So we get a single formed brick material, and with the help of wire, it is cut into the different shapes, different uh, units. Then we have a dry clay machine, and basically it is an advanced version of the manufacturing unit, and the machine is capable of producing a large number of bricks unit at the same time. It already has better cutting facilities, and the bricks that we get from the dry clay machine have are basically much more defined in terms of shape, right? So we have a more number of bricks being produced through dry clay machine, and the product that we are getting, the final product that we are getting is more defined in terms of shape. After this, we have a third stage, and that is drying of the bricks. Now, the purpose of drying of the bricks is to ensure that the moisture level in the bricks is reduced, and it is to be ensured that the target is to bring the moisture down to 2% or lesser, because if these machine or if the bricks are directly put uh, into the clean for burning, then what will happen is because of the presence of the moisture, the cracking and distortion of the bricks will take place. Right. Now, for the drying process, bricks are laid at a longitudinally or in the stacks. Right. It is try to dry the bricks through natural process, that is laying the bricks in the area, and through the natural sunlight the drying process is encouraged. The reason for this is that the rapid drying, because of rapid drying what will happen is shrinkage might take place, right? So slow and steady drying process through natural technique is preferred, but in case we want to speed up the drying process and we want to increase our manufacturing, then rapid drying facilities are also available. So basically in such case, when we are going for the artificial drying technique, we have a special dryers that has a temperature of around 120 degrees Celsius, and brick molds are basically passed through these dryers, and it is ensured that even drying throughout the surface takes place, right? Because uneven drying will again lead to the cracking and distortion of the brick molds. So the drying process takes place like this. So depending upon the facilities available, so the bricks are first of all dried, and after once they achieve a certain amount of hardness, they can be stacked along for further drying through the natural process. Then the last stage of production of brick is the burning process, and again, depending upon the temperature range of the temperature range that we reach, this drying process, this burning process can be quantified into three stages. The first is the dehydration stage, and this stage is the temperature range is 600 to 650 degrees Celsius, right? This stage is also called as water smoking stage. So basically what happens is the moisture that is the 2% moisture that has been left in the during the drying process, that is removed, right? uh, at the temperature around 600 to 650, the temperature is removed. A small portion of sulfur is distilled from the ferrite. A small amount of chemical reactions takes place, and the hydrous minerals like ferric hydroxide are dehydrated. Then the next stage is the oxidation process, and this is takes place around at 650 to 900 degrees Celsius. So basically, in this stage, what happens is that the remaining chemical reaction that takes place at a certain temperature range happens, right? So the remainder of the carbon is eliminated, and the ferrous oxide is oxidized to form the to get the ferric form. And the removal of sulfur is completed only after the carbon has been eliminated, and the sulfur basically has an affinity with oxygen, right? So mm, till the oxygen will be present, so the sulfur will not oxidize the iron. So to if this remains, then the final brick that we will get will have a black or spongy core, right? So in order to avoid this, what we do is we sprinkle certain amount of sand so that complete oxidation of iron takes place. Then we have the final stage of the burning, that is the vitrification, and the range of temperature that this vitrification happens is 900 to 1100 degree Celsius, right? Now this vitrification process can again be, depending upon the finishing it can be quantified into three. The first is the incipient vitrification, right? So in incipient vitrification, what happens is the outer part of the brick solidifies, while the inner part, the core part, still remains softened, right? And if we remove the brick during the incipient vertification, so though the brick will be stronger from the outside, its core is still soft, right? So the final brick that we get is of poor quality, right? Then comes the complete vertification, and this means that the softened core that was left in the incipient vertification is now hardened, and the brick has solidified, has achieved the desired amount of hardness that it should have achieved. Okay, so this when complete vertification happens, this is a stage at which we should remove the brick from the kiln. Uh, After this, we have viscous vertification, and in the viscous vertification, what happens is, so suppose after the complete vertification has been done, but due to some negligence or due to inexperience, we keep the brick in the kiln for the burning, right? We keep on burning the brick. So what will happen is the chemical constituents will start to melt, right? So the chemical constituents that were earlier bonding together to impart the hardness, to impart the strength to the brick, will now start to melt, and the brick that we will get once it undergoes viscous vertification will be of poor quality. Okay, it will exhibit some crystalline or glassy texture, and upon a small amount of action of the load, it will break out. Okay, so and surety should be there that a complete vertification should be achieved in the brick, right? If we kept lesser than that, that is at incipient vertification, the outside part will be stronger, but the inside part will be softer. Again, that is the brick is of poor quality. In viscous vertification, the glassy texture will be there, uh, brittle behavior of the brick will be there, and under small action of load, the brick will fail. Okay, in case this brick undergoes viscous vertification, these are used. Then such kind of bricks can be used for pavement construction for the low volumes. Okay, so this is the stage of manufacturing of the bricks, right? So if you have any doubt in any of this stage, you can always ask in the comment section. So that's it for today. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the different kilns that are used for the manufacturing of the brick. Okay, thank you.